Hello, playful people. Welcome to Dancing in the Daily. Today we are exploring unconditional abundance. So I absolutely love the term abundance. Something about that word, it feels so good when I say it. Like it feels like a full word. It just takes up the entirety of my mouth. I can feel it in my body. Abundance. It feels deep. It resonates. I love that word. I love all of the explorations that are happening around abundance and generating more abundance in our lives. And so I wanted to take some time to just kind of play with what abundance means to me and how I can live a life of unconditional abundance. The first thing that I think is so important is to define abundance on my own terms, right? There's so many different conversations around manifest abundance, get more money, get more wealth, get more, all of whatever it may be, more of whatever people want. It's all over the internet right now. And even beyond the internet, I mean, it's always been a very central conversation in Western society. And so I think it's easy to get wrapped up in how other people define abundance or prosperity or success or wealth and really lose our sense of self in that. I know that's been true at moments in my life. And so, this week, I've shared before that I'm on a personal finance journey. I'm working to build more savings, build more investments, and I'm pretty much at day one of this. Okay, I'm starting from scratch when it comes to that, and sometimes it can get a bit discouraging when you're like really just trying to like get started, right? Like just get a few dollars in your savings account. I think in the beginning for me, I can have those moments where, it just feels like I'm waiting for abundance. I have those moments where I feel like I'm waiting, and that abundance and wealth and financial well-being is kind of like in the far distant future. And I know that's not true, but that feeling comes up, and it definitely comes up when I'm maybe talking to friends who, are further along on their financial journeys, or maybe, seeing something on TV or the internet. It can definitely just look to the left and the right, as comparisons. And then you feel that disconnect. And so I need to take some time this morning to just reconnect with my personal definition of abundance, and really practicing gratitude for the abundance that I have in my life right here and right now. For me, when I think about abundance, I actually don't immediately think about money. I think about a feeling. How does abundance feel in my body? How does it feel in my spirit? How does it feel in my energy field? For me, abundant feels limitless, right? It feels open. When I think about abundance, it feels like an openness, like I can be open to life, open to explore, open to learn and to listen and to grow. Being open to all of life's possibilities and to the beauty and the magic of life that just surrounds us. Abundance also feels like gratitude to me, like a deep, deep moment to moment appreciation of life. So I think, if I'm sitting and really enjoying a bowl of fruit, it doesn't matter how much that bowl costs or where it came from, or if I'm in a restaurant or if I'm at home, just if I'm fully present with every single bite and deep in gratitude with every single bite, that feels like abundance. The same thing with flowers. Whether someone bought me $100 bouquet or I'm just taking a walk at the local park, I still feel that deep abundance when I'm practicing gratitude and just giving my full self to witnessing the beauty of that flower. I did some journaling this morning, and I created a list of things that make me feel most abundant. As I was creating this list, essentially it was a little bit of a gratitude practice. And again, this list of things, it's just for me, what makes me feel abundant. I want to know, what is your list? What are the things that make you feel the energy of abundance flowing in your life? I feel abundant when I prepare a beautiful meal. I feel abundant when I make those like veggie trays. I really love really cute veggie trays or platters if my friends come over, or even if it's just my mom and I sitting together, or just myself having a beautifully laid out meal. It can be really simple. It literally can be just cut vegetables, right? You know, I love eating out. I love restaurants. I love the energy of a restaurant, the energy exchange. I love talking to waiters. I love playing with the menu. I love like glancing at the table over. I love the experience of that. And just getting out of my home sometimes to kind of mix up the energy. And of course, eating out, it's money, it can cost money, it can kind of derail you from your finance goals. But being invited over to a friend's home still gives me that that playful energy as if I was going to a restaurant. But I don't have to pay for anything. And so for me, there's just an ultimate abundance and that generosity of me preparing a meal for someone else or someone preparing a meal for me. Volunteering at a community garden makes me feel so abundant. There's this really beautiful quote. I'm sure you might have seen it, but you know, the idea that you don't have to have your own garden or you don't have to have your own farm. When there's land everywhere, there's land everywhere in this world. So we don't have to kind of create our own gardens and put a fence around it. Now we can, that's cute, that's beautiful too. But I think something about a community garden or an open space makes me personally feel that energy of abundance, that this is open, it's accessible, it's available. Dancing in the open air makes me feel abundant. Like dancing, period, dancing at home, there's just an openness to dancing. There's a limitless and expansiveness to dancing. I love dancing. It's called Dancing the Daily. That's the channel. I think there's a deep spiritual wisdom that lives in the physical movement, lives in dancing. But dancing in the open air, it just hits different. Something about dancing in the open air. Don't have a few friends around. Don't have some people you love around. I also love open air, kind of gatherings, because I think sometimes when you go to like a nightclub with table service or bottle service, sometimes there can be like a dark, heavy energy. In my personal opinion, I've witnessed that before, where I've been to, some really exclusive clubs, and it just feels heavy. I don't even know that people are having a good time in some of those spaces. But I love, going to like a family barbecue or a friend's, cookout, or things like that, or even like really like open day parties, like with a good energy and a good vibe. Being in nature at all makes me feel so abundant. So that could be taking a walk at the park. That could be taking a more, hike or a nature walk, going to the beach and just laying on the beach and witnessing the ocean, or sitting by a lake. Being in nature, again, gives me this expansive feeling, this transcendent feeling of openness and abundance. I believe that nature is like the ultimate beauty of life. And so when I think about luxury, so many luxury hotels, high-end restaurants, kind of like these luxury experiences that we would spend a lot of money from, many of them are actually connected to nature, right? So what makes them luxurious might be they have a great sunset, or a beautiful view of the ocean, or a beautiful view of the forest, right? Like there's a value to nature. And I love that feeling of just going to a park and being able to access the luxury and the beauty and the abundance of nature for literally no money. Adorning myself with a beautiful garment makes me feel abundant. I love this one because, again, beautiful garments don't have to cost a lot of money. I'm from Seattle, Washington. Okay, so I have been thrifting. Just grow up, you just go to the thrift store. That's what we used to do in middle school and high school for fun. Like after school, just like go to the thrift store. And so you can find beautiful garments for $3, $4, $5, $6, $7. And what I love about thrifting is that actually they're really unique. Caring and pampering for my body makes me feel incredibly abundant. Again, this is not something that has to cost a lot of money. I can give myself a fabulous body scrub at home, or a nice little foot scrub, or a foot soak. All of these things are accessible to me now, especially with the power of my creativity. To know that the luxury of self-care and pampering is not something that I have to wait for. I don't have to get rich to pamper myself. I can do that right now, and I can enjoy it, and it can be beautiful. And lastly, bearing witness to creativity makes me feel so deeply abundant. I love going to museums. I love going to art galleries and cultural centers. I love concerts. And these can also be incredibly open experiences. So, and I know that it's different depending on where you live. I love countries and cities that really invest in their cultural infrastructure. So when I lived in New York City and they had Central Park Summer Stage and they had Celebrate Brooklyn, God bless all of the people who created that, who started that, and who continue to offer those spaces, because to be able to have free concerts all summer, and there'll be amazing shows, one-of-a-kind, really unique experiences. That's the ultimate abundance to me. And I believe that creativity is abundant in this world. We're all creative. There's creativity all around us. We all have beautiful things to share with each other. And I love cities and institutions that invest in sharing the creative abundance with our entire community. So, again, that kind of depends on where you live, but I also think that we can create those spaces. So if you don't live in a city that has a lot of museums that have free days, or a lot of cultural centers, or a free concert series, we can advocate for those things, and we can create those things, but we can also do it in a small scale. Actually, oh my goodness. So one of my soul sisters, I love her so deeply. She would have a concert series in her brownstone in Harlem. And when I tell you, these were the most magical spaces. This was years ago, but I still talk about it all the time because it was divine. And so host a creative gathering in your home. You can have an art gallery at home with your friends. You have friends that paint and draw. Host an event for them. We can be creative with how we show up for each other and how we build community with each other. And for me, it's that creativity is abundance. I love the term unconditional abundance because it's easy to think about abundance in terms of conditions, in terms of, okay, how much money do I have? How much food do I have? How big is my house? How much does my car cost? Am I able to afford to go to this special exhibit or to purchase this luxury item? We can kind of attach our abundance and our feeling of prosperity to these conditions. But for me, unconditional abundance is recognizing that energy of openness, that energy of limitlessness, that energy of creativity and of beauty lives within us no matter what. No matter how much money I have in my bank account today, I have access to abundance right here and right now. So I'm affirming myself in that as I move into this day to enjoy and practice gratitude for the abundance that I have in my life right now. Let me know, again, tell me about, how do you define abundance? What does abundance mean to you? And what are things, experiences, energies that make you feel most abundant? With love, keep on dancing.